All right, let's look at our last example here. We've got Omar, the tackler, pushes Dante, the receiver. All right, let's just kind of label these guys. Okay, so this is Omar because he's tackling, and this is Dante because he's got the football. Whoa, I totally misspelled Dante there. Let me just get rid of that E and then move this. Oh, there we go, Dante. Okay. Okay, so in this picture, there's probably a ground down here, so if I kind of draw that, they probably have some legs. Maybe he's got legs over here and Dante's got legs over here, and they're probably like on the ground, like running. That looks really weird, but that's okay. That gives me an impression of like what's going on. So when I draw my force diagrams, I can make sure I include all of the forces, okay? So on Dante, because he's on the ground is probably holding him up, and gravity is pulling him down. And that's true of Omar also, so I'm gonna uncover those, normal and gravity. Okay, Omar is clearly like pushing Dante this way, right? Let me draw that. There's Dante. Dante is going that way, okay? And so there's a force there. That's an applied force, okay, from Omar. But Dante's feet are on the ground, okay, down here, Dante's feet are on the ground, and he's probably like running, like pushing on the ground with his feet, so there's probably some friction there. And because Dante is probably going to the right, that friction is probably pushing to the left, so that's why I drew that arrow there, okay? Now, Omar, I don't know if you've ever tackled anybody or if you've run into somebody, but you usually feel it, right? If you run into a wall, there's like a splat, right, on your face, a push on your face, and that goes back on you. So if Omar is going to the right with Dante, Omar is being pushed backwards. So there's that push back because he ran into Dante, okay? And his feet are on the ground too, and he's probably pushing on the ground to go forward, but his feet would slide backwards. This is where it's kind of weird. His feet would slide backwards if there were no friction. And so here we go. So here his friction is actually pointing the other direction, which might be a little weird, okay? So that's what his his force diagram looks like, okay? If you have questions about how that works out, make sure you ask your teacher so that you can understand exactly how we came up with those force diagrams, okay? Now, I'm going to write the sentences for these just like I did on the last one. I've got them kind of pre-written here, okay, so they're going to come up a little fast. I don't remember what order I wrote them in, but I think I wrote the normal force first. Normal force from the ground pushes Dante up, and gravity from Earth pushes Dante down. And I think I did the same thing for Omar. Normal force from the ground pushes Omar up, and normal force or gravity from Earth pulls Omar down, okay? And then the F app is from Omar. Omar is pushing Dante to the right. And because Dante or Omar ran into Dante, it's Dante, Dante's face or Dante's back is what's pushing on Omar. That's what that app is from there. And then we've got the friction. Friction from the ground is pushing Dante to the left, and friction from the ground is pushing Omar to the right. Now, it would be really something that happens a lot is that students will pick this one and this one as the action and reaction because we got pushes Dante left and pushes Omar right. And they have the same force, friction and friction. But it's the ground. And remember, in order to be an action and reaction pair, the agent and receiver have to be switched, okay? So that's not happening here. Ground and Dante, ground and Omar. They do have the ground in common, but they're not switched. So this is not our action and reaction pair. This is why it's helpful to like underline things. So we've got Dante, 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 which is good. We're supposed to have all Dantes in that box. Here's Omar, 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 which is good. We're supposed to have all Omar, all Dante, just like that. And now we got to find the other Dantes and Omars. And I got ground, earth, Omar, ground, earth, Dante, ground. Okay, so right here, F app from Omar pushes Dante to the right. F app from Dante pushes Omar to the left. Those are following the pattern of switch the agent and receiver and make the direction the opposite. And so it's this force right here and this force right here. Those are my action and reaction, okay? Now, if you have any questions on how to do that consistently, you'll have some practice in the practice, which I'm pretty sure the practice has a typo in it. Let me show you. Let me get down there. The typo is this. It all says balloon and basket, like that first example. But you can see right here, book A, book B. It's got the different objects right there instead. That's what it should be, okay? So you can go ahead and fix that and still be able to do these, okay? Let your teacher know if you have any questions. Thanks.